Hey, welcome to the School of Thought, Lunch, and Learn. Today is the last Monday of this year. So, by the time I talk to you again, it's going to be 2025. So, listen, real quick. Our thought today is assessing your thought process. We assessed last time, we talked about assessing different things in our lives. And sometimes we assess our material things, as I said. And last week we talked about assessing your character. Now, this week, I want to talk about assessing your thought process. And this is going to help you a lot in this year coming. Now, when you take the year 2024 and actually look at your thought process and how you think about certain things, how you made decisions based on your thought process. So you have to look now 2025 and say, you know what? I need to do things different. I need to think different. I need for my process to be different. From my experiencing with mentees and different people that I've taught, that I'm literally watching the thought process be so different that caused them to come up with a thought that normally they wouldn't come up with. So for me to examine that, okay, why did you come up with that thought? Why did you make that decision? And I'm watching the thought process that sometimes is too slow or sometimes is based on things that took place of trauma, things that happened in the past, or based on the things that you have already learned. So the things that you've learned, right, played a part in your unconsciousness in how you process your thought. So if the things that you've learned is limited, the process will be limited, right? So that means I need to learn how to learn properly and how to add into my learning so I could have more information and updated information. So now in my thought process, I am going to roll different. I'm going to think different. My process is going to be different. So sometimes it depends on what you've been through, depends on the traumas, the things that you experience. The thought process is based on that. Now I'm going to make a decision for, let's say, this year coming, whether it's a business decision. But my thought process is still from a trauma or from things that I was taught maybe that wasn't true or something that's not updated. So that process, that what I've learned came into the process. So now in that process, I'm making a decision that may not be beneficial because of the thought process. Or sometimes I will ask my mentee, did you think this through before you made this decision? That's another thought process that doesn't take place because you didn't think it through before you made a decision. I mean, all the way through. And sometimes I've seen people scaling in their thought. And instead of taking the steps, they take the elevator in their thought. And they went from 1 and they jumped to the floor number 10. So what happened to 2, 3, 4, 5? In your thought process, you need to go through the steps of how to think properly. You can't jump from 1 to 10. Something is going to be missing in the process, which that's going to cause your decision to be lack of, because there's a piece of the puzzle that's missing from the thought process. Learn to think first. Learn to think even before you speak. A lot of us go through a lot of apology tour because we don't think before we speak. We just say stuff. We just do stuff. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. So you don't want to go next year doing the same thing over and over again. Sorry, I didn't mean that. Sorry, I didn't mean that. Like a broken record. So think different. Your thought process, assess it. I need to start thinking different. I need to have a different process the way I think. Do you have any process to think in? Do you think in order? Do you think in discipline? Do you just throw stuff in the air and just like hope it stick? And we do that with our brain. We just throw the stuff in our brain and just like, oh, okay, it's working. Oh, okay, it's not working. And you're just going to have to be more aware of your thought process. You know what I feel? I'll take it deeper. I value myself so much that I value my mind. I value the way I think. So the information that I put in the blender of my brain to cause my thought process, to me, is valuable. So I can't take information that's not true, or information from somebody else's trauma, or information from your trauma, and make it in an ingredient in your blender to think. Why did you make that decision? Well, because I thought so and so, and I thought so and so. Where did you get the information from? How do you know it's true? Well, I don't know. So you got to value your brain, your mind, your life enough to know that I'm not going to put any ingredients in my thought process that's not authentic. I'm not going to put an ingredient that's been picked up by somebody else said and somebody else did, and it's nothing that's potent. So you have to understand that there is an ingredient that goes in your thought process. A little bit spoon of that, a little measure this of that. And it have to be all truth. It have to be truth. It can't be just fake or somebody said and no, nothing. It have to be facts. And when you put the facts as your ingredient in your blender, your thought process will be different. Then what will happen? You will see the result in the choices that you make. The choices are going to be healthier. The choices are going to be safer for your mentality. You're not going to just throw it out there and just whatever. And then here come another trauma on top of another trauma, on top of another trauma, and it get worse and worse. So this year, think different. Assess your thought process. How do I think? Do you just say anything? Somebody say anything to you, you just get mad and you fly it off, and the information wasn't even true. How do you think? And I tell my mentees that all the time. When you think about something, I don't care if it's a table or chair. The reason why I'm putting the table here and the reason I'm putting this chair here, okay, this is what I'm looking to see. Don't think when you could see the future. Don't think one step right here and you just, when you get to the bump, oh, okay, I see you now. But you should be able to see the obstacles ahead so you could think about how I'm going to go around this obstacle. You don't wait till you get to it and then now you're trying to figure out how I'm going to go over this. I ain't even see this. You should have been able to see that in your thought process. So assess your thought process. Think different. Make sure, don't wait till something happened, then you're gonna do damage control instead of preventing the damage. I prefer to prevent the damage instead of wait till the damage happened. Then you stuck in life doing my time is up. You stuck in life doing damage control. So think differently. Think about what you're doing, and think if you're doing step 1 through 10, go through your thought process first, all the way to the 10. Don't wait till you get to it and act like you're so surprised. Well, you could have thought of it. So change your thought process, assess it, put it on the table for this year. So 2025, you'll make a better decision. You'll make healthier decision, and the decision that will bring you results. And you'll stop acting like you just, I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't know that was going to happen. How did this happen? No, it should be, what did I miss? What could I have thought of that next time I'm going to think about it so I won't miss the result? You understand? So thank you so much for joining me. My time is ringing already. So you have yourself a very happy new year and be safe. And next time we talk, it's going to be the calendar year of 2025. And I do pray much success over your life, over your family, and this time that your thought process will take you all the way to this success that you deserve. So don't forget to go on Amazon 2025, get the book, School of Thought. So that would be the wisdom that you would need in 2025 to meditate on, to change your thought process, because there's a lot of ingredients, wisdom ingredients in this book that you could add in your blender of your brain so you could think different. So get this book, Amazon, drhannahjosué.com, and use the wisdom as your ingredient. Meditate on the word. Meditate on the wisdom throughout the day and exchange the old pattern to the new pattern. And then now you're going to be full of ingredients to in your thought process. These things are going to come back to your memory. I'm going to tell you one more thing. Things are not going to come back to your memory by coming into my mind to put it into your mind. I know it, but you don't know it. You have to know it for him to bring it back to your memory. There's nothing in there because there's no wisdom in the blender. So the wisdom is not going to come to me because I did the work. It's not going to come to my mind and put it in your mind. You have to do the work and put the ingredients in your mind. So when you are going through the process, the wisdom is going to come back to you and say, remember you need to do that. Oh, remember, what about that? Remember this, because it's already there. So you have to do the work by studying and meditating on the wisdom and put the wisdom in the cabinet of your mind. So when you need it, it's going to come forth and be served. The wisdom can't serve you if it's not there. Okay? So get the book and get it for your friends and family. All right? And don't forget to become a subscriber on my YouTube. I have different sessions as far if you want to purchase a home or about relationship, about marriage. And I have a session that's called Can Anything Good Come Out of Haiti? Yes. And my first interview was with Dr. Tank. You got to go listen to it. Beautiful, beautiful interview. So don't forget to become a subscriber, share the video, share it with your friends and family. And I thank you so much for joining me. And thank you for 2024 for listening to me and taking a few moments and listen to the nugget of wisdom throughout the day. So by the time I see you, it's going to be 2025. And we are going to go forth and think different. Thank you. Have yourself an absolutely fabulous day and a fabulous week. Happy New Year.